One of the main reasons I purchased a freeze dryer was so that I don't have to buy these anymore. If you're an outdoors family, you probably have spent a pretty penny on these MRE freeze-dried ready-to-eat meals, which are great for camping and backpacking, but they're expensive. So instead of giving my money to Walmart, I decided to invest in myself, and I got myself a freeze dryer. I have never looked back, and one of my favorite things to make with my freeze dryer are the Copycat Mountain House meals. But I'm challenging myself to make one without spending any money. I'm gonna go shop in my pantry and freezer at home, see what I can come up with for a yummy, delicious, freeze-dried MRE meal, and we ain't gonna spend nothing. So it's a pantry and fridge shopping challenge, and I'm going for like a lasagna-y type of soup recipe. I think I have the ingredients that I need for that. I got this beef on a killer deal at the Costco Business Center a couple of months ago. It was $1.99 a pound for these 10-pound giant tubes. So I bought 5 of them, and now I'm down to my last one. But I'm gonna use this in our recipe as the base of our protein and get it thawing. I'm a little embarrassed to show you my messy pantry. It'll get organized one of these days. But I know the one thing I need for our MRE meal. I'm embarrassed for you to be seeing my messy pantry. It'll get, you know, organized one of these days. I'm gonna start with a bag of pasta. All right, and in this messy pantry, I know I am going to want 2 cans of my diced tomatoes. I may or may not need chicken broth. I'm gonna pull it out just in case. And then I need some pasta sauce. I have this left over from a meal from the other day. So that's why I needed the extra diced tomatoes, because I don't have quite enough of this. Look how cute my little gymnast is. And then I know I've got some frozen chopped onions in here. We will use this. And I want my recipe to be nice and creamy, so I'm gonna use cream cheese and mozzarella cheese in it as well, because cheese is life. I'm gonna start with filling up my pot of water to get my pasta boiling. This pasta from Costco is so good. Now we get to deal with this guy. I want this to be really beefy and have lots of protein, so I am cutting off about, I would say that's 1/3 of this, and this is what I'm gonna brown up in a pan. So my recipe is gonna finish up in the crock pot, so you just wanna boil your noodles until just before they are tender. They don't need to be fully cooked because it's gonna continue to cook in the crock pot. So I am using my favorite new crock pot ever. This is the Ninja brand. I think they call it the everything cooker because it kind of does everything. But one thing that is really cool is you can saute on here. So I'm just gonna go to saute, hit start. This pan is gonna heat up and I can saute my onions in here. Those have sauteed up nicely. We're gonna add my 2 cans of crushed tomatoes. Now I'm gonna hit it with the seasonings. I'm just gonna add some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. I'm gonna use my meat masher just to kind of mash up these tomatoes a little bit because I'd prefer them to be a little bit smaller in shape. And I'm now just adding my 3/4 of a jar of pasta sauce. We got the ground beef going in. Oh, I made a mess all over my cabinet from my sauce splashing up. That's fun. Noodles going in.
Not that heavy.
This pot is getting so full. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give it a big stir, and then I think I am going to add some chicken stock, and then I'm gonna add my brick of cream cheese to get that melting into this also. Here is how we are looking. I'm just gonna get my lid on. I'm gonna leave this on low for about an hour or 2, and everything should be nicely melted together. And then it'll be ready for our freeze dryer trays. This is looking so good. Okay, sorry for all that noise. It's creamy and delicious. The cream cheese has melted into the sauce. I gotta add the mozzarella cheese still. Just gonna put in about a cup. This turned out so good, but you know what? I haven't tasted it yet. Okay, I gotta taste it really quick. Cheers. Amazing. This is gonna be one of my new favorite MRE meals. I still think my all-time favorite is the pineapple coconut curry that I did, but this might be a close second. Now let's get our trays loaded up. I'm just gonna try to evenly divide it between my 4 trays. I'm kind of sad there wasn't any extra. It all fit onto my tray. So I'm just licking my spoon. Here is how everything looks. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna package this in individual serving sizes or more of like a meal for my husband and I for a lazy day when I don't feel like cooking. That's what I use my MREs for. I figure 1 tray is about 3 servings of food. So I've got 12 servings of this MRE meal. But if I was to package them up just for like to feed my husband and I would just do 1 tray and divide it in 2 because sometimes we're hungry. I'm gonna let this come to room temperature, get my tray lids on, and then we'll bring them down to vanilla ice and get these in the freeze dryer. All right, I'm just gonna get my tray lids on so that I could stack these up and carry them down to my basement. You can pre-freeze these if you want to have a shorter run in your freeze dryer. I'm not pre-freezing today. I am just gonna take these on down and load them up. We are here at Vanilla Ice and I am just gonna go into customize. I am gonna, let's go to -20 just for kicks and giggles. Extra freeze time 1 hour, dry temp 125, extra dry 7. Save, start. Vanilla Ice is gonna cool down for 15 minutes and then we can load up our trays. While this is cooling down, if you want to get yourself your own Vanilla Ice machine, there's a link in my video description down below with Harvest Dry. You can check out freeze dryers right now. I believe their current promotion is $300 off and free shipping in the contiguous United States, which no, does not include Alaska and Hawaii, unfortunately, but anywhere else in the lower 48, you're good. All right, I just gotta close my drain valve and load them up. Okay, Vanilla Ice is freezing our food. This will hopefully be done sometime tomorrow night. We will see, maybe the next day. I will let you know how long it takes. And until then, I'll catch you later. This has been a super long freeze dryer run. We are at 42 hours. I am about to do my second weight test to see if my trays are fully dried. I'm hoping so. My weight has not changed from 2 hours ago when I did my first weight test, so we are good to go. Should you weigh all of your trays? Yes, you probably should. Did I? No, but do as I say, not as I do. Here is how we are looking. These were the pieces I was looking at earlier. They just break right apart. Looks good. My game plan is to store them in these 7 by 10 inch size Mylar bags. I'm thinking that I'll get about half of a tray per bag. I don't know, I'm gonna see just kind of what fits nicely in here and then I will just mark my guesstimation of the serving size on the bag. So this is about half of a tray's worth, which I think will be a good amount to have for my MREs. I'm gonna throw in 2 oxygen absorbers. These are 400 cc oxygen absorbers, so it'll be good for this size of bag. And then we will just close up the lid, heat seal it shut. I need to find a black Sharpie, but I've just labeled that. I'm calling this lasagna casserole. It's about 2 servings and I put the date that it was packed. Now I'm just gonna finish up my trays. Whoops. Okay, I'm just gonna finish packing up the rest of them, but but I am gonna save some aside to do a little taste test because we need to make sure that this reconstitutes nicely and still tastes great. I can't be trusted with anything. Okay, we did it. Here are all of my MREs. I've got a little bit extra for us to go taste test in a little bit. I'm gonna get these in my prepper stash and they're good to go for whenever I want to use them. I honestly use these a lot for just lazy nights when I don't have time to cook. I can grab one of these, add some hot water to it, and we got a hot, fresh meal that my entire family will enjoy. It's the best. It's meal prep. Meal prep. Let's give this a try. And I have a funny, not funny, but a moose encounter story to tell you. I'm just gonna add water about halfway, stir it up, let it sit for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna just move it around every so often just so that it fully rehydrates. It's actually been a couple of months since we've seen a moose around here, but I was driving home the other night from my kids' gymnastics. Coming up a hill like towards our neighborhood, there was a car in front of me and it was dark. It's like finally now dark outside at night, which is like weird. But coming from the left, I see this shadowy figure come into the road, like probably 50 yards ahead of us. And I was like, that's weird, what's that? It was dark, you couldn't really see, just like a big shadow. Then I finally see the car in front of me slam on its brakes. So I slammed on mine, and it was a huge moose, darts across the road. It was kind of weird because it slowly got onto the road, and then as the car got close to it, it like took off running in front of it. If the car would not have noticed that the moose was there, he or she would have hit the moose. There are unfortunately a lot of moose vehicle collisions in Alaska. Our highway actually keeps track of the number of moose killed on the highways and roads in this area per year. There's like a sign that updates every month. I think we're up to 15 since July, but it actually has not been updated in a while, so I bet it's higher than that. But it's sad and scary. It can be so dangerous. So I'm just glad we were all safe. We all noticed the moose, were able to stop, it got across the road, and we went on our merry little way. But it's just been a while since we've seen like a moose or a bear or anything. So I mean, it was exciting, but also like scary. All right, let's give it a taste. It looks very hydrated to me. Tastes amazing. There is a few little bites that have some crunch to it, so it probably just needs to sit a little longer. But the majority of it is fine. And it tastes really good. So cheers. We did an MRE. I didn't have to spend any money out of pocket to make this. I raided my pantry and my freezer, and I'm so happy with this. Our trees out front are almost totally bare. I do love the color of my blueberry bushes. They just turned this awesome red color. We didn't get hardly any blueberries this year. I'm seeing one right here though. These plants produced a ton of blueberries last year. They were brand new, and I don't know, we need to figure out how to make them better, but still delicious. If you have any questions about freeze drying, drop them in the comments down below. We're preparing to go on a trip next week to Arizona. We were hoping for beautiful fall Arizona weather, but it's gonna be above 100 degrees the entire time we're there. That's okay. We're excited to see family and warm up a bit because it's still chilly here, so it'll be just nice to be in the sun. If you missed my last MRE challenge video where I tried to make an MRE for as close to $1 as possible, I will link that right here, and I will see you all on my next video. Remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. Bye, friends.